Hey, Ross here with TrueCut CNC, and in this video we're going to discuss join and explode. And those are these two buttons right here. One looks like an explosion, one looks like a bunch of gears. So join and explode. So why is join important? Well, join is important because your nesting software, whether you're using Bobcat Cam or Sheet Cam or ProNest, regardless of your nesting software is looking for closed curves. Okay, and this tool right here is going to tell you whether you have closed curves. So let's go ahead and draw something. And let's draw some curves like this. Okay, so let's say that we draw that. Now, let's turn off object snaps, and we'll cover that in a separate video. We're going to turn off endpoint snaps. We'll turn off everything. So now we're going to repeat that command. Again, to repeat a command, our last command was a control point curve. We're going to right click and that'll repeat that same command. Okay, so I don't have any snaps turned on. So let's repeat that again, and I'm going to try and find the endpoint right there. Okay, and my objective here is to connect these 2 points, just like that. Now you can kind of see it's not connected, but you can get that so close that it's going to look pretty good in there. And you'll say, okay, that's good, I'm done. I select it, I export it, I take it to Sheet Cam, and all of a sudden you go to Sheet Cam or your nesting software, you notice that you don't have any closed curves there. You have two open curves. So to check that, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the join tool. Okay, so we select our entire drawing and we hit the join tool right here. Now if you look up to the upper left, it says joining curves. It says unable to join curves. Okay, that tells me something. That tells me that it can't join these curves at all. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. And we'll turn on our end snap, and let's go ahead and just draw one right there like that. Okay, so we know that this one's connected. Okay, so now let's see what happens when we try and do a join again. Okay, so we select the drawing and we hit join. Okay, now look. Now we've got 2 curves joined into one open curve. So it did join this one right here. We knew it would, but it didn't join this one, of course. So what we have now is 2 open curves, or 2 curves joined into one open curve. Okay, so to fix that, we could come in and trim that out. And in the last video, we covered trim, so we zoom in on it. We hit the trim tool. Oh, okay, so that's a good example of something I didn't want to do. So to back out of that, now I'm going to hit Control Z. And Control Z in Windows is an undo command. Okay, so let's unselect that again. We'll select it. We'll go to Trim. Oh, and it did it again. So let's Control Z again. And again, let's try and trim that out. One more time. No, it's not going to do it. Okay, so let's look at another way to do this. So we know we have a problem here, so we need to make that join that. Okay, so let's turn on control points. Okay, so now what I want to do is take this point right here. I'm going to drag it over. Because I have endpoints turned on, or end snaps, it's going to snap to the end of that point right there. I can turn control points back off. Now we should be good. Yeah. It's asking to select the object to join. So it's actually, when I dragged this point over and it connected there with the end snap, it joined itself. Okay, so now now let's look at the explode tool. So we basically have one line here, one line here. Okay, if I hit explode, I'm going to end up with one line here, but notice how they're not connected again. Okay, so now remember, when you go to your nesting software, you want to see open, or you want to see closed curves where they should be closed. This should be a closed curve, this whole thing. So let's select it now, and let's hit join. And now let's look up at the upper left, and it says two curves joined into one closed curve, and that's what we want to see. We want to see a closed curve there. So that's basically join and explode. Join is very important. Always use join when you draw something to verify that your closed curves are actually closed curves.